Hello, everybody, and welcome again to another session where I'm gonna develop the game or work on the game Pixel Painter Challenge. It has been a while since I've worked on this because I've been on holiday and personal reasons and things, but I'm back and I'm planning on being a bit more active with this whole um, with developing the whole game. Today, well, so because it's been a while and I haven't really thought much about what to do and which way to go, and I haven't looked into many things yet. Didn't have the time. So um, today, the only thing I really want to do is I want to clean up the grid a bit. And well, grid are scripts, I mean. So as you know, we have a render grid which is open here. The problem is that the render grid currently also um, contains like the initialization or the not so much the initialization of the grid because that makes sense, but it's more the colors. So like all these special colors that have to be set, these ones are determined by this script as well, which doesn't make any sense. The render grid should only be there to indeed, well, it should color the grid and it should do everything, but that's about it. But that's about it. So it shouldn't decide on which color should, what is the target color of each cell and whatever, and those kind of things. That's more for the level manager. So today, the only thing I want to do is actually want to basically move out this part to the level manager script, and I want to make sure that, of course, the thingy stays correct, the whole level. So, and another question, of course, is, I mean, like, because the level manager, this can and that's where the life cycle might come in, is that of course this is all fine, like the current color and whatever, and those things, that's typical initialization. This is information that eventually, I guess, the same as the current color, and as the other colors. But anyway, so this is information that actually eventually comes from like a level where I read out, or like I know which level it is, and I read out a file with the settings, and then I initialize it. So I don't think I can do that at Awake. Awake, then I have to actually look up what is the Unity life cycle. So okay, awake is really the initialization. The thing I think is that initialization is, well, I mean, like, because yes, this will be initialized, but first there will be a menu. You can choose which level you want. You basically don't just want to initialize this once, but you do it on each level. That's the interesting part. Um, so you have initialization, you have on enable reset, then you have start. Start is also only ever called once for a given script. So that's going to be difficult because here you have start, which, I mean, like, if it's only called once, I'm not sure how the progress between levels is going to be and how that's going to happen. So, but there isn't much anything after that. After that, you have the fixed updates and whatever. So I have to rely on start. The awake. Hmm. Maybe for now we can do awake or on enable. First scene load, that's awake and on enable. Awake first lifecycle function called when a new instance of an object is created, always called before any start functions. If a game object is inactive during startup, Awake is not called until it is made active. Okay. On enable, called when the object becomes enabled and active, always after awake, on the same object and before any start. For objects a part of a scene, asset, awake, and unenable functions for all scripts are called before start, and subsequent functions are called for any of them. However, this can't be enforced when you instantiate an object at runtime. Awake is only guaranteed to be called before an on-enable if the scope of each individual in the scope of each individual object. Across multiple objects, the order is not diminishing, and you can't rely on any object's awake being called before another object's on-enable. Any work that depends on awake having been called for all objects in the scene should be done in start. Okay. So awake and unenable are part of the initialization step, and they should be seen as as one block between scripts. That's okay because I mean, like my render grid is at start currently. This is also the color picker is also a start. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, so yeah, I will have to see which one I need, start or awake. Um, hmm, for now, I'm just gonna put it on awake. So the only thing I have to do is I have to move first my colors. Of course, my colors are just here. Okay, so I just copy paste this. Init grid colors. Okay, so this one is not the case. Actually, maybe this is a bit stupid, no? Well, there will be more logic in here, I guess. Reading, no, reading file will, I guess there will be one file for the whole level. So, okay, yeah, I'm not gonna do that, not yet, that's a bit overkill. Because the thing also is, this is here, I initialize the colors. But of course, in here, I have to be able to fetch the colors. And that's the only thing I have to do, I think. I just have to get here colors. Math apps. Okay. Yes, I'm immediately gonna do it right. The problem is the grid size currently also is here, and this one actually might be used quite a lot. Yes, for the fill shape and whatever, and okay, so this also has to move. Very constant grid size. Yes. Uh-huh, uh-huh. And then I have to say here. I'm thinking whether it makes sense to save the instance. Because this is gonna look ugly. Hmm. Problem is this one is not instantiated until after the awake, so I would have to do it on start as well. So maybe I should just save it locally. Yeah, maybe. Does this really save me a lot? I'm getting a bit confused with typing type here in front. I think actually C# can do this itself, no? Problem that this is now actually the line is actually too long. But okay. Public. I'm not gonna use public. I'm gonna make it. Oh no, this is yes, this can be public. So my level manager has a method public color get cell color. That's completely wrong. Excuse me. What I want to do here is just return. Do I have a cell here because it's a bit vector. Now I make it vector2 int cell only to decompose it. That seems really stupid. But again, I prefer, or well, nowadays, my programming, I prefer to have really an object instead of having to. I will show it. I'll show it. So the advantage of having this is I can do cell dot x, and I do cell dot y. The other one is it cell dot x, cell y, or is it y direction? X direction. It's annoying that the autofill doesn't properly work. Or I don't know why. Hmm. No, okay, here is x dot y. Okay, so the advantage is that here you do x dot y, and you can't really, well, you can do it wrong. I mean, yeah, that's a bit the problem of here this constructor, I guess. Then I would say vector 2 int cell pos, because I mean, realistically, you can by accidentally swap x and y, and that's what you're trying to avoid, that you by accident swap arguments. For the same for my function call, if level manager dot get cell color and I pass cell position, so this you can't make a mistake. If you would have a if you have a method where you pass x y, then well, you always have to remember, is it first x, is it first y? Of course you can say like, well, but that's convention, so there's no problem. And yes, in this case you probably would be right, there wouldn't be a problem, but it can become more confusing, especially when you, for instance, say like, no, this all makes sense. There are definitely methods in which I've had before where I said like, well, it's annoying, especially if you start with strings and you have multiple strings, and then like, okay, what is the value of each parameter and what's the meaning of each parameter? Whereas if you say like, well, you know, here you just pass a vector to int, that's fine. The thing is, you can even get um, more custom, more specific, and that's on another project which I will be maybe streaming as well at some point, which is Java-based project. I will maybe go into it in more detail, where I really try to do it, where I really create custom objects which help. So this would not even be an integer. This would be like an x coordinate. This would be a y coordinate, and then the compiler will say like, well, but you're trying to pass an x coordinate where you have to pass a y coordinate, and that doesn't work. And then you are pretty safe that once you've created the object, you can't use it wrongly anymore. So that's all fine. Same here as well. I mean, like this would be a cell position 2, which is a vector 2 int, which is perfectly safe, is perfectly fine, because we're never gonna match two of them together. And if you ever would need a method where you need to have two, for instance, you have to say, oh, draw line from start, then you're in the same position again, like, well, what's my from, what's my end? If you want to draw a line, what's my start point, what's my end point, is my first my start point and my end point, which could make sense. But to make that even safer, you could actually try to make a wrapper around it where you can say like you have an object where you say dot start and then you give a start point dot end dot draw or something or whatever, where you create the object with more meaningful methods so you can clearly see what the meaning is of each, and you're less likely to actually make a mistake. I say less likely because in this case, of course, you want to be able to avoid it. Anyway, but this actually allows to use other methods, because I thought Unity had a constructor for a vector3 int. Was it a constructor or was it a conversion from vector2 int? You can say vector2 int and then you can do something to make a vector3 int. No, that's yeah, that's basically casting. But then it becomes 0 and not the thingy. So I'm gonna look for a constructor of vector3 int. Where is my vector3 int? Yes. Huh. How come vector3 int according to this? Oh no, you have this as two constructors. Yes. One with 3 components, one with 2 components. Ah, that's annoying. Okay. So I can't really take a vector2 int and then say like, hey, I want to have a vector3 int with from this vector2 int with this z layer. Which, I don't know, seems to me like it's a bit of a miss. That there is no way to convert a vector2 into a vector3 int. Or the other way around, of course. Yeah, no, okay, so I have to leave it like this, which is annoying, because now you can still, I mean, like if you want to change something, you still have to change it in every possible location. Of course, I could change this with cellpulse.x, cellpulse.y 2 times, and then yeah, you only have the xy ones here. That feels a bit cumbersome as well. This is not what I want. Stupid AI. Now I'm just thinking whether I should keep this or not. Okay, so this doesn't make any sense. Cell position. Now this position can actually be much lower. This is border position and cell position. Can this be const? Identify expected. What the hell are you doing? This is wrong. That's a good question. Okay, I'm gonna leave it as it is for now. What I would do in Java, or what I could do in Java, for instance, is I could something I would do is I would work with lambdas. For I would say you could say level manager dot for each cell, and then you would get cell position. And then in here, you can actually put this entire thing. So you don't even have to give access to your grid size to any of this. You would say, okay, I will just give me just each cell, which is probably what you want to do. I have to think how lambdas work in C#, which is a bit of a new thing for me as well. But I think I wrote a lambda before as well. Have I not written a lambda? I say, well, no. I do remember there were also still some issues with the here I do the exact same thing. This is also something maybe that I want to get over with. Anyway, I remember there were some issues with my coloring still for some reason, which I can't figure out, or I couldn't figure out. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, but so this is. We'll do that when we get there. For now, this is fine. You have get cell color, and then your level manager will say get cell color, and it will say return color dot. Stupid autocomplete. There. Except I don't want white because white's not gonna be visible. Yellow. This is not gonna work because I still have grid sizes. Here, so here I also have to do const level manager equals level manager instance. Aha, this is gonna be problematic if I want to do the lambda. The in shape, because the in shape has to reset upon each y. So it's not something I want to do for each cell, it's something I want to do for each row. And then for each cell. Yeah, okay. Which would be one of the definitely of the reasons why I would do it. Why is it complaining? 29. Okay, so apparently you do have to give a type to it. It's can't deduce it automatically. Maybe because it's not a new, which would make sense. What's this? SSN grid expression being assigned to level manager must be constant. It's a public static, but it has a private set, and for some reason, then it's not constant. See, the thing is, I want to. That's what I don't know or understand about C sharp. So this is a level manager, yes, and I want to keep the level manager constant, but I want to keep this level manager constant, as in like, yeah, that's the thing with where Java and C sharp or C++ are different in that sense that if you define final in Java, you say you can't reassign the object. And that's what I'm trying to do. I say that you can't reassign this object. You don't have that really. That idea of like, at least as far as I know, you don't have the idea of like, well, you can't really reassign it. And that's it. This constant means that this object is really constant. Is in like you can't change the object, it's well, not the object itself, but you can't do anything with the object that is not defined as a constant method. For instance, this I could say this is a const. This is a const method, so if you have a const object, you can still call this because it's not gonna change your object. Simple as that. The instance you have will not get modified because, and then you can only work, of course, with these constants, const thingies, which would be fine for now, but the colors, of course, would not be fine. So anyway, so that's what the whole const objects and whatever work. The keyword might have been in the wrong place, but that's okay. Anyway, so the const in C sharp is different from final in Java, and it is more expressive. It is more final. It's more meaningful. But I feel like most of the time you can't even use it. And I thought there were other ways to also do it, but it becomes very messy and very long. So I don't tend to use const really in here. What is this? 31? 31. How can there be something on line 31.3? That doesn't make any sense. There is nothing on 31, so this definitely is not cleared. This is 32. That makes only assignment, call, increment, decrement, await, and no object expressions can be used to the statement. But I just take my level manager and I say dot grid size x, which definitely is here, which is private. Maybe that's a problem. Level manager, okay, but that's because I'm using the wrong level manager. No? 3017. I have an instance. Cannot be accessed with an instance reference. It's not an instance reference. This is, I do level manager.instance, same as I do here. Level manager.instance. Why is this not working? Level manager.instance. This should be should be the object. And it cannot be accessed with an instance reference. I mean, like, I do want to keep this part of the level as well. I don't want to use static because in case I might want to change it, that you have some levels which are a bit more complex and bigger and whatever. We'll see about that later. But for now, what if I change this to? Does one of them go away? Nah, exactly the same. Member, level manager. But this doesn't make any sense anymore because I'm not even trying to access level manager grid size Y. Unless of course my script for the level manager is wrong. Is it because I have it as a const int? But why would he not be allowed to have it as a const? Here it clearly says member level manager at grid size Y, but that's not even the case. 34, that's another one. This cannot be declared const, okay. And all of a sudden they are gone. Why can I not? Why would? What's the problem with having this const inside of the level manager? Why all of a sudden do they become part of the inst of the class and not? That doesn't make any sense. C sharp, probably a C++ thing as well. Yeah. Qualified to the type name, but they are probably because they're const, so indeed they don't belong to the instance, but they belong to the thing. Okay, so I'm gonna make it an instance. Oh. I thought that was what static was for. What's the whole point of const? But so here, then I guess I can do. Okay, so what is it still saying? 31 and 32. Only assignments called no object expressions can be used as a statement. And why is it not complaining about the other part then? I have the exact same thing on this line. What is different? Huh. 31.3 and 32.3. Of course, the 3 doesn't mean anything. Only assignment, call, increment, decrement, await, and no object expression can be used as a statement. And where do you see the statement? Yeah, maybe it's a minus. But then I don't understand why it's not complaining about this, because here I do the exact same thing with minus. This is also the double space now, which is also wrong, but that's not going to make the difference. Is it the minus in front of it? I would find that a bit odd that it was a minus in front of it. Definitely not a minus in front of it. But this was also not allowed. hasn't fixed anything. What is the problem? Am I missing something? Is there like, did I not close anything? Did I not put only assignments? Assignment call increment decrement await and no object vector use the statement. I think it really is maybe like this part that actually is causing the issue. Maybe if I change this with 0, will that fix one of them? No, not really. Oh, damn. Okay, I see the point. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong script. It's level manager. Let's complain about level manager 31 and 32. Yes, of course, which is this. Yes, I'm aware of that. Public color array. Level colors, I guess. Get set. Do I really need a setter? Do I need a getter? I'm just gonna do equals. Okay. Probably makes more sense to actually do yx. That's one of those things where you want to have the thing that changes quickly. You want to have in the back. If you have a double array, you should always make sure that the thing you do with the back should be what you iterate over last. So that actually makes sense. Well, for instance, this is actually going to be problematic. And what you actually probably want to do is you would indeed want to abstract this so you can make sure you have more control over the order and whatever, and you make sure like you always iterate over x last and not over y. It will be problematic or problematic. You will be loading a lot more memory locations than you actually should. Um, and that's because of how the memory is located and how it's laid out, and the last part will be consecutive. You have like first you have all the x's that belong to y0, then you have all the x's belong thingy. So if you want to loop over all the x zeros, then you actually have to read this, but your CPU will do like a fetch ahead and it will read memory in advance, and it will read all the other x's which you don't need. Whereas if you do, okay, I'm gonna loop over the y's in the y direction, then you get all these x's and you actually use them. So you have more memory efficient things. Stop auto-completing. I'm not agreeing with you. Okay. So I have level colors. Yes. They have been initialized. What's all this? A field initial can not reference the non-static field method or property in grid size y. Um, that's definitely it's here. You can't even initialize it. That's interesting. You would think in Java I can do this because it's before it, so this will be initialized before whatever. I'm gonna put this instance level at the end. Yeah. No, I'm gonna first put the instance level there. Invalid rank specified. Expected, comma or brackets 2640. This does not make any sense. This I just copy pasted. This should work. This should be able to deduce how many you need. That is 26. It is this one. He's like, oh, I can't figure out which one it is. Well, that's because of C# also wanting to or needing to always. No, still more 26. Needing to always initialize everything. You don't need to initialize everything. Nah, trust me, you don't need to initialize everything. Okay. Yeah. The two-dimensional arrays are giving me a headache. Because they work differently. Have I ever used two-dimensional arrays already in C#? Nope, only single directional arrays. How do I initialize this? Okay, I understand what it's saying. It's saying like, oh, you can't use this because this is not a non. This is only set at runtime because this is not const. So like size. So you can't do it like this because this will be allocated on the stack, which cannot be or is not allowed to be. So you have to initialize it with a new, I think, no? Yeah, but I do it with a new. I'm not even sure you can use an array like this then. Why is this not? Maybe the problem is invalid rank. Specify expected comma or closing bracket. Where? 26, 41. Where is 41? I have no idea which one is 41. What is this problem? Is it complaining about something or not? The thing is, you can also just do this apparently. And maybe this actually just solves the issue. Nah, wrong number of indices at 32. Invalid rank specified. Okay, so yes, okay, yes, I see, I see. This is, I don't know, some C sharp magic, I guess. This is a two-dimensional array. And if you do it with the separate brackets, then apparently you have something what's called a checked array, which is an array of arrays, which means that you have first of an array, and so wait, let me try to explain it like this. If you would do it like this, what you get? Well, then you can say you have x0 and this has a certain length, and then you have x1 which can have a certain length. So for instance, this can have length 5, but this can actually have length 7, which is not what I want. I want to have a really two-dimensional array, which apparently is what you do with this, and then each x and y have the same length. So that's good. That's exactly what I want. Index without bounds is the array. That's not good. 32. Why is it outside of the bounds of the array? Of course, because I create a regular. How do I actually define a grid in here? I didn't have to define the grid because thing you defined for me. I just got a tile map. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Of course, this is not correct. Oh damn, this is problematic. I can't work with negative numbers, of course, because it's a. Oh, do I want to convert it or do I want to? What am I gonna do? To convert or not to convert? Otherwise, I have to here do from 0 to 2. 0 to 2. I think that's gonna be better now. I don't even know why I ever started with really with the minus and the. It's only confusing. Right, okay. So this one seems to work. Of course, you can't know because it's all the same. And here you just return level colors yx. This, of course, will all still be yellow because that's just what I did. And then I have to go look at how the original one actually was implemented. That was this one. I'm just gonna copy it. Well, this is the old one, so this is what I need. Copy change line. This might result in a different view because my x and y is different now because I don't have minus and plus and thingy anymore. Yeah, this is definitely going to be different. The question is how is it going to be different, and does it make sense? Index 39. That's because the cell is minus. Ah, yes, yes, yes. The cell works with minus, and how come the cell actually works with minus? It doesn't make sense. Oh, that's probably because of this here, because I make a new grid, new cell position. Oh, why did I ever start with this? Probably because the tile map itself has. Yeah, because look, I have tile map. Tile map works with minus. Ha! That's annoying. That is pretty annoying, actually. But it works with. But okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. So you just add an offset to it, and that should be fine. 0. If I give 0, well, minus y should become 0. Yes, yes, yes. The expression being assigned to y must be constant. I'm pretty sure this is a constant expression. It's an integer. You can't get it more constant. I mean, like, this is what I don't understand about like the whole definition of constant. I mean, like, what the hell? I mean, like, what do you mean? This has to be constant. Maybe the meaning of constant is also not what I think it is. I mean, maybe in C# it even has a different meaning. Get cell color 39. There, there's no such thing as actually that's 39. So this is bullshit. Haha. Okay. So now indeed we have the lines, and that's because my x and y has changed from value. If I would do the exact same thing here, I would get the exact same grid. So if I would do this, then normally you would see the like the more star pattern-ish thing. What's this? Ah, yes, okay, yeah, this makes sense. I index. Probably at some point you do want to have the whole translation name. Cell does not exist. What do you mean cell does not exist? Of course cell does not exist. It's just x and y here. Anyway, so I was saying at some point I may want to have this whole abstraction between like the negative coordinate system and like a zero-based system, because a component. Save it, please. Save it, please. Save it, save it. Because why? The simple reason being that it's just confusing, especially if you think about how I'm gonna save it, how I'm gonna do it. If I save like, oh, I have a grid size of X, yeah, does it mean that this currently means I always need to have um, I might always need to do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here's the thing. I say a grid size of 6, but actually this is 12. But I don't think I will be able to do it with an odd number. I'm also not sure why this now all of a sudden is not working anymore. Huh? This is definitely not complaining, so that's good. Yes, okay, of course this should be minus, but that doesn't explain the full story. Actually, it does because it doesn't initialize anything. X equals as long as it's smaller than. Yeah, okay, that explains everything. So now you should see the star pattern, yeah, that we are used to. Of course, this whole initialization actually goes out of the window and is just reading a file, which is maybe something I want to look into. This is actually not even. I mean, that's the problem with this thing as well because it's even. I can't have a center. It's 12 by 12. Can't do anything about it. But I think that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that this point actually is 0, 0. So 0, 0 does not even match with anything. So I would have to look into again how this gets converted and how that's being done. Because I mean the whole tile map works with negatives apparently. You have minus thingy. So I mean like this is 0, 0, but it's like what actually is block 0, 0? Well, there definitely is a block 0, 0 because 6 is not included. So this is minus 6, minus 5, minus 4, minus 3, minus 2, minus 1. This is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is 0. So this will definitely be like block 0, 0 or something. But yeah, that just makes me wonder why. And can I change it? I have a size, I have a scale. I'm not sure if I set the size of the grid anywhere. Here I have the scale as well, but I don't set. So how does it even know? How does it even know what the actual center is and what the... I have no clue. The tile map just knows, maybe because of the position x00. Yeah, I actually don't know. Because I know there is this part, mouse input, and where I do a tile map world to cell. And then you get the position of the cell. And that's a vector to int. So it does generate like something. I'm also curious to know how does it know where to stop? I mean, like, how does know it only should generate this many? How did I do that again? It's probably with the grid somewhere, scale. Probably is just literally just this drawing, no? Isn't it not? If I make it bigger, then what? No, it's just bigger. How does this tile map know how many cells to generate? I honestly can't remember. Can't be 26 because 26 has nothing to do with 12 or 6 or whatever. Maybe it doesn't know. Maybe it's just because I define it here. That's maybe the whole thing. That actually it doesn't have it, but because I access it and I set it, that's how it has it. And the size of it is just all whatever. What the hell is this? And that's because, okay. Okay, I messed with the system and now I forgot where. Here. Okay. Okay. It seems back to normal. The thing. It's also a bit weird, like how this is lined out, but that's because of the depth and whatever and those kind of things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which is weird because I did change it to 7 and 7. And this all uses the same values. I don't understand. I don't remember how it actually knows how many it has. I thought that maybe it didn't know it, and that it's me accessing it and setting the color that does it. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Actually, as a matter of fact, I mean, like, honestly, if I put 3 here, this cannot even have been initialized with the color. So this does not make any sense. If I do this, there is no way that this could work. This cannot work. So my script is not being updated for some reason. Let's really put like a compile error in there. I think it might be because of the awake that it reuses the object. I don't understand how this is now not crashing the game. I mean, like, this is literally, yeah, well, I know why, because it's not clearing it. That's an interesting thingy. It's an interesting part. Wait a second. Here I have it. What? Here I have it set to 6.6. Why is it here set to 6.6? Why? What? I don't want this. How come current color? How come here I have grid size X and Y? What? Doesn't make any sense. I don't want this to be available. Current color is not here, so why is it here? Grid size or level size? I don't care. Maybe you should have updated this as well. What the hell, stupid editor? Are you really kidding me? You did not change this. Why not? Okay. So this actually should go away. You know, I think it might be because of the whole confusion with the constant whatever, and but that still doesn't explain anything. See, it still has the value. Why is it still? Why does it have? Why does? Why does it have it, and it doesn't have the other ones? Is it because it's an integer and it can't know color and whatever? And render grids, yeah, is easy. It doesn't have it because everything is const. Everything is private as well. We should make this private as well. And then just fa get. Okay, let's see whether this now actually does anything. Nerf curse compiler error. Level manager in the color picker. In the color picker, this says level manager current color is inaccessible. due to its protection level. But it has a set as a getter. Ah, but wait, we are setting it here. It also has a setter. How does this one even work then? Okay, you know what? Let's keep this one for public for now. I mean, like, I don't understand this one. Maybe it takes. Okay, maybe it assigns this ones to this. Maybe I should say here it's a public get. This is such nasty syntax. Level manager 11. The accessibility modifier of the level get must be more treated than a property of. Okay, so if you make this private, I can't have a public getter. So I can make public, and I can say getter and a private set. Public get and a private set. Will this then prevent the level manager from having those fields? That's the question. That is the real question. The level manager doesn't have it anymore, but I'm not sure if it actually compiles. Overflow exception. Which makes sense because I have -7 in here. So this would become 7 and it would grow until infinity. Okay. Yes, okay, so the grid does not know how big it is. It's just each cell has a certain size and they all are certainly addressable. So technically, I could align my grid so the 0, 0 point is like here, and then I can make it bigger as much as I want, and I can have odd numbers. You can clearly see this is a 0, 0 point. If I make a 0, 0 point where I want to do 0 point and I do everything positive, then I can actually maybe more easily set my grid size to also be something of the right size. The only thing the render grid might I still want to do is I want to like maybe make the no, I probably don't want to make the cells bigger, do I? That's the only question. The only thing I have is like if I go for a variable size, which I can do, is then how is it going to work with my cells? Are my cells going to become bigger and smaller? I definitely don't want to use more space, so that's not an option. Okay, anyway, for now, we have succeeded in what we were trying to do. We moved the color initialization to the level manager, and the render grid now just reads it and actually renders it. So there is less level logic in here, which is good, which is exactly what we want. Yes. I'm just thinking this might also be a nice candidate of to actually. Well, no, doesn't matter. I'll say you could have a method that says to highlight layer or something, or to highlight cell. That doesn't matter too much. The class is still pretty big, 400 lines. That's still too long, way too long. It's because you have actually a lot of logic here already in this method. The update and everything, and this whole logic, it's all of this of course could easily be extracted because this is just mathematical stuff. Same as this one. This is just a mathematical stuff, I think. Crosses other lines. This one does use lines, so that's at least I think. Yeah, it uses points. So, and that's probably why it was not worth it to actually extract it. This is also a huge method. The fill shape too deep. In this sense, this actually is a big, but not that bad of a method because it's not that deep. This, of course, I could invert and I could probably extract this one. Although here with all the returns, it's going to be difficult. Yeah, no, okay, for now, this is definitely good enough, and we have succeeded in what we want to do. Level manager has a bit more level logic. Um, the render grid has a bit less level logic. It also has shrunk a few lines, not that many, okay. And this I don't care about, okay. Do I even need this one? I don't know. Move level colors to level manager. Commit. Can I push? I know I can push some you push. I typically do this command line, so I'm not so sure. Okay, and that was it for today. What are we gonna do next time? What are we gonna do next time? I'm thinking, should we try to work on reading files that the level manager can actually read this information from a file? That might be an interesting approach. Yeah, I will see if I can, if that's a reasonable thing for next week, to just read the information from file. So then that would be, I don't think I'm gonna do the grid size from file. I'm just gonna do the level colors and the button colors. So that's actually another thing. My buttons, I should, oh, maybe that's a better thing to do next week. I will see. So either I will move the colors, the level colors of the grid to a file already, or we'll do the buttons so we can have programmatically this decide which colors this actually should be. Yes, which is going to be similar to this. It's a one dimensional array with colors, button colors. Maybe I should call this grid colors and not level colors because it's a bit weird if grid size and then level. Yeah, actually it's the gold as well. So I'm gonna leave it. So we could move it. The thing is, I'm not sure if I want to always keep three. It could be that I have a level where I only have two colors, one where I have four colors. Five I probably want to keep the most, but so I want to be able to programmatically create the buttons as well. So maybe I want to have a UI manager as well. Yes, and then that one can also be used if you say like, oh, you have certain amount of moves or whatever, or strokes as we call it. That can be initialized here as well, and that can sit it in. Yeah, yes, 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 yes. Although that can actually initialize itself because. Hmm. Hmm. I'm not sure how to do it. Programmatically create more buttons, but that's something I can look up, and I will see if I can prepare it for next week. So, okay, that was it for today. Thank you. Bye.